Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Crimson Canadian Mactor, and today we're actually going to get into the more depth look at Kibera, the new assassin, magic assassin here in King's Raid. Now, Kibera, I've taken a deeper look into his kit, and like he is a AoE nuker. If I have to compare him to someone, I take back to my game I played at Summer's War, where Lucian goes in, amputates the team, and does AoE, ignore defense damage. Now, we're going to go over his skills real quick. First skill, attacks one enemy 11 times, then summons a Dark Whirlpool to attack all enemies 8 times. If he has his Night Sky Sword drawn, the normal attack is going to be increased by 50%, and each normal attack will decrease cooldown by 0.5 seconds. His skill 2, Let's Have Some Fun, dispels all negative effects from himself for 5 seconds, increases his attack, and his HP will not fall below 10%. And if his sword is used, the Dark Shadow is selected, the mana cost of the skill is reduced by 1. Now, half full of openings is his second part of the skill. Moves to the back of the enemy with the highest attack, marks the target, reduces his attack speed, and then will prioritize this marked target for damage. The selected enemy inflicted with Dark Corrosion cannot receive positive effects and will have their mana reduced by 250. Again, that's if that sword is selected. Now, this is the one I love. Say Hello to Death. Sticks his Demonic Blade into the ground, AoE damage, dealing magic damage, and a circular. He also will stun. Now, if you have his sword selected, it will increase his mana cost, but it will ignore defense and have its heal rate of the enemies hit by this reduced by 50% for 5 seconds. So not only does he deal AoE defense pen, but he will stop the healers from being able to heal them if he doesn't get, like, say, the healer in the back and stuns them. Now, his passive skill, he's got 3 swords to choose from. Each one will give a unique benefit to him. His first one, Dynamic Sword Night Sky, 300 attack speed. Dark Shadow, defense increase. And Veil, increase attack by 120 and enhance the effect of Say Hello to Death. Now, like I said, the Insatiable Blade Kibera is an AoE nuke, but I'm not just saying he's good for PvP with AoE nuke. His skill set and his unique treasures, everything is great for everywhere. And we'll get into that when we get into his unique treasures here in a second. Alright, so here we are with his unique treasure. This is his skill 3, Say Hello to Death. It's going to increase the damage by 20%, and he's going to get immunity from CC. Skill 2, it's going to reduce the mana cost, and after movement, gain immunity. Again, he's getting lots of immunity. This one is a skill 1, increases damage by 50%. Every time Kibera hits an enemy with his normal attacks, it's going to increase his own crit damage by 1%, which can stack up to 100 times. And finally, this is the most, I think this is one of the most ridiculously awesome UT4s I've ever seen. So depending on which skill or which sword he chooses at the start of battle, he's going to actually give his benefit as well to all of his allies. So just think about that. He's going to give attack speed, he's going to give reduced all damage to all allies, or he's going to give increased attack, depending on which sword he chooses. Now, I had to go back and I had to relook at this, and I had to think, wait a minute, did that actually say, like, depending on the sword he chooses, all of his allies are going to get it? So if you're in a Dragon's Run with 8 people, all of those allies are going to get, for the 30 seconds, that beneficial boost. So the beneficial attack, beneficial defense, or beneficial attack speed. So 100%, his unique treasures are ridiculously good. Whichever one you choose, they all have their unique benefits for each part of the game. Now, the Special Mana Oil is the one I am going to pick up, because I want to get that increased damage by 20% and gains immunity for CC for the duration of the skill. Because this is going to increase the defense penetration, the amount of damage it's going to do when he does his skill. Again, I'm trying to AoE nuke opponents. So when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, again, Arena. I think his best friends are going to be Lavril, Lias, Annette, Sonya, Jane. Those kind of units that increase magic damage, apply beneficial effects. Midiana might be a good one as well as Cassandra. But those ones I think are going to be amazingly good. And if I believe Lias would be really good because she's going to increase his mana. You want him to have an increased amount of mana so he can get that skill 4 off, or skill 3 off. But the Haunted Scroll, if you're going to use that, it's going to be great everywhere as well. You can increase your damage for PvP, PvE. So whichever way you go there, it's going to be, you're not going to go wrong with what choice you make here. And again, long battles, you could get his UT1, and then you're going to be increasing his crit damage by almost 100%, because he's going to increase his crit damage 1% for every attack and every time he uses his skill 1. So I mean, when I looked at his unique treasures, I was like, okay, they just went all out for this guy. This guy is like a game changer when it comes to PvP, PvE, you know. And his Transcendent Scroll, or his Transcendent perks, are great too. Now, with his skill set, you have to choose a sword at the start of battle, unless you get a T3 perk or T4 perk into his T3 skill tree, into the T4 light or dark. That will automatically pull out one of his swords. So T4 dark is actually going to pull out the ignore defense sword right away, so you don't have to choose that at the start of battle, which is what I have chosen here, which is why I went with the unique treasure number one I went with. And it's also going to increase his mana, so he's going to have that big boost in mana. You give him Lias is going to boost up his mana, give him defense increase, and you can actually increase his attack with her skill too. So I mean, I think Lias is going to be like his best buddy, you know, his pal you take everywhere with him. Now gear wise, I don't have the best gear on him at the moment. Right now I have a crit damage gear on him. I want to change that to a crit damage and a black dragon. You want to have at least one black dragon set on him. But we're going to take him into the slime. I want to see his damage. Now I do make a mistake here at the start, because I forgot which skill was Annette's boosting skill, so I made the mistake of being too slow. So the first one, it runs a fail. The second run, this is where you see that big boosted damage. And so I'll let you watch these 2 runs, and just before he gets that big boosted damage, I'm going to just kind of jump back in and talk here. So you see, I messed up there. I didn't, because I was looking at skills. I forgot which skill was which one. Because most times I'm autoing. So we're going to do the retry here, and then we're going to actually see the damage output here. Now my Annette has great gear, so she will be able to keep up in DPS for a bit here. And she actually almost ends up even with him. But it's the burst damage I want you to see here. Alright, so right about now, he's going to get his skill 4 or 3 off. He's got 7 million damage right now. Gets his skill off. Goes up to 55 million. He almost got 50 million damage done there in one shot. Now, if you take that into PvP, I can imagine many people having 50 million damage. And that was, I think, 3 slimes, so that was about 15 million to 15 million. Roughly 15 million per slime. I don't see very many heroes going to have 15 million damage. So like I said, you want a good cleaver? Kibera is a amazing cleave unit. I cannot believe this unit, the amount of damage he does. And like I said, he does not have the strongest gear on him. He's got decent gear. He's only got 1 unique treasure, and he's only have a T2 in his unique weapon. So we get him up to a higher tier. You get better tier weapons, better gear on him. He's going to do amazing burst damage there. Like I said, it's just going to cleave teams, and they're not going to know what to do. So I think he's going to be a fun LOH, really fun LOH guy. I'm really excited to be able to use him. So, like I said, this guy, you can use him everywhere, depending on what sword you want to use, what's gear you want to use. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is, the best thing about this is when you A new hero comes in, we get the welcome event. The welcome event's a great way to get their unique treasures, their unique weapons up, and also getting great items as well. So you'll be able to get energy, reforged tickets, summons, and you'll be able to get 3 unique treasures and his unique weapon starred 1. Now it is a lot to do. It is a little bit hard because you have to get summoning unique gear, you have to get him T5, you have to get his weapon up to T3. But if you grind it out, you should be able to get most of the way. Even if you get his unique treasures, you should be, you know, in a pretty good spot. But if you get that 600 points, get his unique treasure 1, you might be able to get that his unique weapon up to tier 4. Other than that, guys, I think Kibera is a phenomenal unit that can go anywhere in this game. He's going to be a boost for his allies, a big damage dealing character. So, I mean, if you want to grab him, I would go out and buy him right now, because right now with if you buy him for rubies, he will come at 5-starred already. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little spotlight in Kibera. I know it's kind of a brief one, I haven't had much time to play with him, but I wanted to get this out and what fun I've had with him already. So, other than that, have a good night, guys, and stay chilly.